Hey, I got a notification.
Great.
Yay!
Yep. There it is.
We're going to do the whole episode.
And there's audio.
I'm going to practice my ventriloquism.
Don't.
No?
I can't look at you if you're doing that face.
Oh. It's the only one I have. Unless I get a face off.
Oh, Shannon is on the notification squad.
She rang that bell.
This is not a tribute.
Did I say Atlanta?
No, you wrote Raiders of Atlantis.
Oh.
Raiders of Atlanta would be funny, though. Congratulations to the Braves. They won, and the cheating bastards, the Houston Astros.
Yes, in the battle of the lesser of two evils.
Now, the Braves aren't that evil, are they?
I mean, they're
What's evil about... No, really, what's evil about the Braves? Are they cheaters?
I mean, they're on the list of, inappropriately themed
oh, yeah,
sports
okay.
teams
Yeah, that,
Yeah.
and chants and stuff.
all their fans are shitheads, and their owners are shitheads, and they're like, "Hey, Travis Tritt, come perform at the Braves game." Cause,
Oh, okay. I didn't know any of that.
Oh, yeah.
No, we saw that message, Leola.
Yeah.
You may be able to retract it from the chat.
We
but
saw it.
not from our minds.
Right.
We could have another Raiders of Atlanta, like I don't know, Sherman.
I was
march
about to
the
say,
sea
sure,
again.
man. yeah.
Yeah.
That track would be straight fire.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta wait till March, though.
March Madness?
No.
Why?
March.
Sherman's March.
March.
Oh, March. Oh, that March. Okay.
God damn.
Yes.
Sorry, I was with the other one.
That March.
Yeah, I just missed that one.
Sorry, I know when someone else does a joke, you're just like,
Yeah.
that's not a joke.
Who's grumpy now?
All of us. Everyone here is grumpy.
Why are you grumpy?
I'm fine.
You're being grumpy?
I'm
Robert's here.
delighted.
He's not grumpy.
Where's Beal? Where are you at, Beal?
Ooh, I should get some water.
See?
I was just being...
BJ's on some weird tear.
It's because we had the king of burgers. That's what it is.
Mm.
Yeah. I turned the cup around for proper product placement. So
Proper product
so
placement.
it could really take me out of the movie.
You've got your proper product placement. Proper.
Do you have proper product placement? Oh. Proper product placement.
We do not want the audience to be grumpy. You people need to be happy. So be happy, damn it.
I was told we are not allowed to suggest how other people's moods are, so I don't think you can say that
Moods.
by your own.
Moods is different than personal appearance.
That's not.
Are we doing this again?
No, he just said people need to be happy, and I'm like, I was just told
I'm
we are
telling
not allowed to do that.
The 5 people who were watching, because one of them was like, should we be grumpy? And I'm like, no, you should not.
See, that's telling people how to be.
It's not.
I was told we're not allowed to do that.
That's not what I told you either.
Yeah.
My argument was that, asking someone to smile is not necessarily saying your appearance would be better were you to smile. Yeah.
So glad we're doing this again.
What?
Let's relitigate the whole thing.
I was talking. You weren't in the room.
Oh, Bill's here.
I was trying to understand legitimately.
I know. Easy. Easy. Schmutz.
Schmutz.
You get some.
Schmutz.
You got
Yeah.
some schmutz.
I had some schmutz in my area.
I keep... Every time I sit down, I'm like, scratch at this, This little thing here,
Nope,
it's a dent in
that's
the table.
That's a
No.
thing. It's deep.
It's getting worse probably because
Oh
I'm
yeah,
scratching at it.
yeah. You're gonna scrape the whole section off.
It's
Yeah.
going to be
Just
a
right under your nails. Just
trench in the table. Yeah.
You're gonna get shingles.
shingles.
Yeah. It's all the scratching. It's like it's gonna get worse and you get shingles.
I don't know how shingles work, so I'm just going to agree. I mean, I know what it is.
It's
I just
like
don't know
worst
how.
version of the chicken pox.
I know.
Yeah, that's how
Yeah.
you get it.
Yeah.
Table
Oh,
scratch.
table scratching is
Yeah,
how you get
table
shingles.
scratching.
Okay.
Shingles.
Yeah.
Shingles.
I mean, roof scratching will do it too. Ha!
Look at all the people here in the chat.
Oh wow!
Look at all the people here tonight.
Look at all the people.
I like that when I raise my voice a little bit, I can hear it echo through the rest of the house.
Like when people die in this movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you ruined it.
Everyone sort of dies flangy.
Yeah, it sounds exactly like it does in the movie. Y'all can't hear it
Yeah,
because these microphones think, fuck, don't pick that up, but it's real.
it is.
So, should we talk about this movie? Should we talk about how this movie entered the room?
Yes.
In a disc carrier case.
In a
Are
several
those
layers
jewel
of plastic.
cases still? No. What do they call
Yeah, they're
those?
jewel cases.
No, these are not jewel cases. They are.
I thought that's what they were, snappers. I thought the clamshell was also a jewel case.
Jewel case specifically
Specifically,
is
was
a
it
CD.
Specifically
CD?
the CD one?
Yeah. Okay.
What are these called then?
Clamshells?
Alpha cases, maybe.
Alpha cases? If you in the comments know what these DVD/Blu-ray cases
I mean, they
are
were
called.
clamshells when they were VHS. So does that not mean they're
Oh,
clamshell
yeah,
when
definitely
they're...
not.
I mean,
Completely different
technically, it
format.
is a clamshell case.
Because of how it opens. It's like a clam.
That's not that much like a clam, though. Clams are round. This is all square. I fucking got him.
Is a square. Good times. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
No, the quicker we talk
No,
about
I
it, the
don't
quicker
wanna-
we can go home,
Oh, right.
including you.
I don't want to. Yeah. Well, I could just leave. I don't have to talk
No,
about this.
you're gonna sit there and talk
Yeah.
about this movie.
It's,
No. What if I don't? What if I just sit here?
it's a new hostile
We can't
podcast
have one
environment.
person every week just sit there,
Sure, we can.
which
It's
is a
usually
trend
me.
recently, and it needs to stop.
I'm just gonna sit here. Maybe I'll talk. If you're lucky. I barely remember anything that happened in this movie anyway, so good luck fucking getting content out of me. Suckers.
It's a horrible sales pitch. It's the worst.
I do all my talking now in We Have All the Time in the World. I do all the talking in that podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jens just kind of goes,
Not really.
Oh, okay.
Duh.
It's more like
I mean, that's Russian, so yeah.
wrong. Jens is not.
Russian.
Yeah.
I know. I realize
He is when he
after-
eats.
I mean,
Yeah, there we go.
that's a Russian attack.
What was I gonna do? Oh yeah.
Oh, you're at that age now.
I've been at that age since I have
On the
existed.
internet, what am I going to do? I forgot. There it is.
just open up a tab. What
Yep.
is it for?
Man, it was important too. Oh well, I'll just look at the internet.
What's worse? Like I've taken it to another level. I have like opened up a tab, gone to or opened up the IMDb app. Doesn't matter, tab or app. Like gone to IMDb to look something up. Get to IMDb and forget what the fuck I was going to look up. Like I've made it that far. I'm like, I know I was going to look somebody's history up or something. Fuck, I don't. Yeah.
I just start typing nonsense until my brain sorts it out and tells me what the word was I was going to search for.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, it's gotten that bad. Like I'm all the way to the site where I'm supposed to be looking the thing up. Oh shit! VJ's gotten all blown out again. The hell!
I can't. I'm not doing it. I'm not wearing any crazy colors today. I'm
I
sorry.
know. It was like totally normal. I was keeping an eye on it. It just went nutty.
I will routinely like open up my phone and just immediately like go to Discord. I was opening up my phone for something else, but I'll be like in Discord and like half an hour later, like, oh yeah, I meant to look something up. What the fuck was it?
Yep.
Let's talk about movie.
This movie had 0 boobs, Bill. 0.
Well, they were there. They were there, for sure.
They just weren't out.
Yeah.
Fucking weak sauce
Weak
bullshit.
ass.
All right, and welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey! BMFcast.
Episode 525.
Ooh, a palindrome.
Yes, 525i. So I'm Harlow.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
Yes, we are Sans Mackie once again. However, what we do each and every episode of the BMFcast, we go and we watch ourselves a quote-unquote bad movie. Then we come in here and talk about it. Then they get ratings. Good bad movies, enjoyable bad movies. They get 1 to 5 jocks and Robot Jocks.
Robot Jocks! Hooray!
However,
Everyone loves her.
there are bad movies. So stay away. They get a negative sliding scale. 1 to 5 bags is in giant bags of trash in which they belong.
A boo.
Be mindful of that scale.
Maybe.
Tonight.
Yes,
Yes.
probably from several of us.
Probably from several of us. Because, we did 1983's.
Yes.
Raiders of Atlantis or Atlantis Interceptors, whichever title you prefer.
One title makes more sense.
Yes.
But this
We're
one is
in.
called Raiders of Atlantis.
Right.
Yeah. It's a movie made by Italians.
It is.
One of those Italians has made another BAMcast movie. The director, I'm not even going to try his name. Because I don't...
Ruggero Deodato.
Wow. Okay. He directed The Barbarians.
It's like we always have that ready to go.
Well, it's easy. It's not like you have to is my impression correct? No, it's
We've
This
always
is
got
my
a, we've always
impression.
got a cup with a straw.
This is my impression of the Barbarian Brothers. My impression of the Barbarian Brothers.
goes a little something like this. Yep.
Oh no! What? I have a shitty Burger King straw that doesn't want
Oh
to
no,
work.
yours is too lubed.
That's a shitty Chick-fil-A straw and a shitty Burger King
That's
cup.
true. That's true. That is true.
Across the streams.
Yeah.
The writer, Tito Carpe,
Ride or die.
he wrote Sinbad and the Seven Seas
Oh, that's a much better Italian-made movie.
and Warriors of the Wasteland.
That was also probably a better. Yeah, that was definitely.
That-
I mean, literally any other movie we've seen that was made in Italy is pretty much better.
No, that's not true.
I think ones we've seen. Yeah,
No.
not all of them.
No, there have been several
Okay.
that are worse than this.
All right.
The star of the film is Christopher Connolly. You might remember him from Strike Commando. He
I
was kind of Reb Brown's friend, and then he wasn't.
I think we've all been there.
He was also in 1990, The Bronx Warriors. And also Tony King, who was in Shaft and Bucktown.
Butttown.
Bucktown.
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 No, Bucktown. Oh, sorry.
Bucktown.
I was like, I missed
No,
Bucktown.
this time he was in Butttown
Bucktown.
because this movie
Bucktown.
Is butt.
is butt. It's a whole town of butt.
Yes, and?
Yes. And, I literally don't know how to talk about this movie because I don't know what this movie is about.
Okay.
Like, I honestly, I'm not trying to be jokey. I don't know what this movie's about.
All
Okay.
right. So it's
Like,
okay. So
This is going to be great.
okay.
all right. So okay. Here we go.
You ready for this?
Ready?
You seen this? You hear about this?
I saw this movie. Allegedly. There's a group of scientists bringing up a submarine from the seafloor.
Yes.
It's a Russian submarine with nukes. When they bring it up, the radiation activates this island, which also activates, or this underwater island, Atlantis, which also activates a whole bunch of bad dudes. They are trying to kidnap.
The president's daughter? Oh.
They're trying to kidnap the woman in this movie because she understands pre-Columbian language and will help them take Atlantis to the stars or bring everyone back or bring the sun god into the universe. Something. That part's really unclear.
The Atlanteans have forgotten who they are. and this lady is unlocking the key to their backstory.
But see, here's what I honestly truly don't understand. Are the bike gang people the Atlanteans, or is the Atlanteans like literally the one like Nazi dude that's in like the prism?
This is unclear.
Right, that's what I mean. I
Yes.
mean,
Yeah.
because somehow they amass an army, a post-apocalyptic army of Italian design, which we've seen plenty of. I'm just saying, like, get some motorcycles.
One of my favorite kind of
or
armies.
trikes or whatever, and bolt some shit on them, and you know,
Yes.
go crazy with let the hair and makeup people just go nuts.
Yes,
like
just full on fetish gear
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Hairspray, makeup,
Yeah,
face paint,
Love it.
crazy shirts,
right,
mohawks.
sure. But I'm saying, like, I don't know if it's like, because like when all the shit goes down.
We see someone open a vault.
Nobody was ready first, and there was like a loud noise that seemed to mess with people's brains.
Yeah.
Because there are several groups of people. There, as you mentioned, there are scientists on a offshore platform. It's not an oil platform. It's just a like sea lab type of place. And I again, they're trying to raise this Russian submarine, and they found an ancient tablet. And they brought in a language lady, and we're like, "Can you
That's
translate?
Kathy.
Can you translate this?" And then meanwhile, there's a pair of dudes that are mercenaries of some kind, I guess, because they
Dudes for hire,
Yeah,
because
they-
the entire opening of the film is them kidnapping a dude
right.
by grappling hook.
Yeah, they
they grappling. This guy lives at the Parthenon, for starters.
Yes.
So they sneak up to the Parthenon.
The Parthenon in Miami Beach in the future of 1994.
1994
for
Miami
some strange
Beach.
reason. I don't really understand why.
That doesn't make any sense at all. There's no reason for it to be the future.
Yeah. But yeah, living in the Parthenon, they brought a grappling hook, I suppose, like you do.
Well, they just can't walk in. You just can't walk into the front door of the Parthenon.
One does not simply walk in to the Parthenon.
And if you have a grappling hook, you have to justify its existence. So
So they grapple up to the second floor. Very casually, sort of just knock this dude out. It's really more like his henchmen or whatever bodyguards that get the knife throws and stuff like that.
he just gets chloroform.
Yeah, you just get does this rag smell like chloroform? And do you want to ride the zip line down one flight?
Okay, it's important if you're going to talk about the zip line that you mention the fact that they zip him into a body bag,
Yes.
then clip him onto the zip line and just zoop right down to ground level.
It's
Yeah.
about as awkward as you would think it would be.
Especially with the anchor just being a dude holding the other end of the line.
Yeah.
So when it gets towards the end and the whole like pendulum thing takes over and he basically can't support the weight anymore, the dude or whatever's in the body bag just thuds to the ground.
Yeah.
Because that's how physics works.
Yeah. They deliver the body to the person who hired them. He pays them, I believe, $50,000. They either go get on their boat or they buy that boat.
They already had a boat because he
Okay.
said the boat was gassed up.
Okay, so they get on the boat and they are sailing to where they're going to hang out and spend the money.
Trinidad.
With Manuel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Trinidad.
Yeah, Manuel, who the first time we meet Manuel is because he is exploding out from the lower decks of their
Not
boat.
literally explode.
Not explode, but he comes out of like the front hatch, like the thing nobody uses except
Yeah.
for emergencies, and it's just like chopper, and it's like, how?
Yeah.
It's a Manuel hole.
Oh, I see.
And here is where the movie lost BJ, because what happens for the next 15 minutes is that this helicopter, which ultimately we find out is simply taking the doctor lady to the oil platform. That's all this thing is doing. But I guess it turns out it's being piloted by their friend. I guess that's the
Who gives a shit?
that's the revelation. But so this helicopter flies around their goddamn boat for 15 fucking minutes, just circling around the boat. And you're like, what's going to happen here? What are they doing? Are they going to shoot the helicopters? The helicopter going to shoot the boat? How is this tied together? It's not. It's just we have a helicopter and we have a boat. One day we're going to stand on the boat and film the helicopter, and the other day we're going to film the boat from the helicopter.
I think it's all the same shots.
It is.
It looks like all the
just
same
a couple,
shots,
a few
like,
passes back and forth, and that's it.
This is also like the start of my favorite thing about the movie is people not acting like people, because they get
People.
not acting like people.
Oh, that's my favorite
Are
Randy
the
Newman song.
Worst people you can put on film. Because they get irrationally angry at this helicopter.
Oh,
That's
they just shout at the helicopter.
They're
buzzing
just like,
them.
you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
But
I
they
mean-
also like seem to maybe know who it is. They're
Yeah.
like, it's Bill Cook.
Well, yeah, one guy is just like, that looks like only Bill Cook, that son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, he doesn't call him a son of a bitch. He uses some weird name.
sure. Cat Scratcher?
No, it's
Dingleberry.
no. What is it? It's a weird turn of phrase, and I can't remember it, and it bothered me.
Well, good luck finding it
Yeah.
on the internet.
Yeah.
You can always watch the movie again.
That will not
We have the
happen.
disc.
We
You
know
can
that's not
borrow
gonna
it.
happen.
What disc?
Yeah. So they get irrationally angry, and then the helicopter just leaves and drops the scientist lady off. And Bill Cook or whatever his name is,
Bill Cook.
is just there. And I don't understand. Like, that's the thing is, like, I never understand at any point in time throughout this movie what anybody's dynamic is, because he seems to be completely pissed that he's been sent to fetch this lady, despite that seemingly to be his job, that he's also a mercenary of some kind,
He's a
perhaps?
pilot.
Yeah.
His job is to pilot.
Sure.
Maybe
I don't
he
know.
wanted to be there when they raised the submarine,
was
and they
gonna be-
started without him.
But yeah,
No, they hadn't
they
started. They
hadn't.
didn't start until the scientist lady got back.
Right.
Right?
I don't know.
But there was no need for that. She wasn't working on the submarine shit.
Yeah, she's just there for
No.
the tablet.
Yeah. But anyway, they start to raise the submarine, and for some reason, everything goes goddamn haywire.
Right.
Just-
And again, like, people acting very strangely, like they lose power on this platform thing, and then immediately they're like, fuck, get the life preservers,
Yeah.
like, abandon ship. And it's
Well,
like,
from
okay,
our
getting the life
perspective-
preservers, like they're out in the middle of the ocean, this
Sure.
thing's going haywire.
Yeah.
I think that's a smart decision.
okay, but like, why does everybody run outside? I mean,
And downstairs.
well, there's a thing, like, okay, so, like, there is a tidal wave or something happening. I mean, I think it's supposed to be the implication of the island raising, and that's what the
the water displacement.
Causes
yes,
tidal wave,
displacement type
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. So,
But they didn't know that when they're inside. But also,
exactly.
like, $40 worth of fireworks had just gone off behind the computers.
Yeah, some Roman
so things were
candles.
going kind of haywire. I understand getting outside of that room.
Sure.
I don't know.
This is an Italian production. Of course, they were Roman candles.
They just call them candles.
There it is.
Yeah. They also just numerals, really. I mean,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, it's just one.
it's an I and a two.
But they don't do a really solid job of the geography, so you can't really tell that they're like if they're just going outside.
Right.
It makes sense to panic though.
yes,
I think
because you do see this giant tidal wave coming for this platform. Now,
I don't think they saw it.
Yeah, that's
I
what I
think-
mean.
well, no, they don't see it till they get outside. They didn't. I don't think they knew it was there when they went out.
Yeah.
Because there's no view screens or windows or anything in this place. Now, what I probably think is the best part of this movie is during this tidal wave, because suddenly we cut to a man and woman who you think are in Miami leaving their house. That's just the we've been Miami's
The
been
only
a-
other place we've had is
Yes,
Miami.
the only landmass we've established is Miami. So you're like, okay, now we're back on the
Oh
island.
no, wait. Actually, they totally established this as Miami because they show you shots of like I-95 and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, the establishing shot of this couple is they are totally in Miami.
Yeah, they zoom in on the interstate sign and then
Yeah.
show some buildings and then
Yeah.
show these people.
Yeah. I forgot about this.
Yeah,
Because later it's like the implication is that they're on
some
whatever
fucking
island.
Yeah.
Island it is.
yeah, so
So-
this stuff is also happening on the mainland.
yeah, but these people
guess.
aren't on the mainland. They're
I'm,
on this
I'm
whatever
actually
island.
thinking that despite the fact that this is clearly all filmed in the Philippines,
Right.
and it's like, I think that this was actually supposed to be the mainland, Miami, that they found. I mean, I think that the implication was that these Atlantean raiders or whatever were fucking everything up. I don't know.
I
I
there's
think
no
that's
other
the
reason.
implication of that shot that immediately follows.
Okay.
But then I think they're supposed to be on some other island.
Yeah, but they find
Later.
these people.
Yeah. Anyway, random.
Did they
but,
find
like,
these people?
Yes, they did. Okay, but
random
here's
couple.
yes,
Yeah.
man and woman getting ready to leave business, work for the day, whatever it is they're about to do. All of a sudden, just off camera, a fucking bolt hits this lady in the neck.
Well, no. First off, she's chasing because, like, as the island or whatever is happening, and all the sub is coming up, and the island and the power outage, all the chaos that's happening.
Oh, the sky gets
Yeah,
black,
the
and the
sky
husband's
gets dark,
like,
and
"I wanna check it
the
out."
woman is just like walking off, like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And he's like, "Come on, Susan," or whatever.
and arrow hits her in the neck,
Yeah.
and you're like, "What the fuck?" And
like
then
like a blow dart. Arrow.
yes,
like,
and then
one of them, to their credit, one of them said, we should probably go inside.
Mm-hmm.
sure,
Like,
I believe it was
12
the wife saying, "Husband,
Yeah.
stop looking at that. Come inside." She then takes the arrow to the neck. Cut to the opposite side of the street where this fucking motorcycle gang and Captain Crystal Skull are, and it's just like there's been a quick establishment of someone walking into unlocking a vault and removing a crystal skull out of it.
It's Crystal Skull.
Yes, that's the name of the character. He
puts it on his face.
The leader of this group. Now, this is the Mad Max crazy bunch of apocalyptic weirdos that throughout the rest of the film you're going to see.
Yeah, he's Lord Not So Big.
Yeah. There is no
Lord Average.
there is no setup for these characters. There is no explanation for who they are. They get one speech later in the film that kind of says we're back and stuff, but it's like I never have any fucking idea where they're from.
And that's the thing.
Okay.
It's like I don't know if they're Atlanteans or
Wait.
like they're mind controlled because Manuel flips out at some point and is just like,
does.
"Yeah, I'm good. Everyone's
He says we a lot.
yeah, we are. You're gonna die. I have to murder you." He just repeats like the same 6 things over and over again.
Okay, I just realized, like, we had the establishing Miami shot, and then we had Crystal Skull put his face on, and then he and the gang destroyed man and wife who were outside, and we think that we're on a separate island later, but Crystal Skull is there on the separate island, isn't he? Is he?
I don't know.
He is.
It was a Florida key the entire time. We thought they were so far away. I don't know, man.
When they get to wherever they are,
Somebody email us the map of this movie.
Why are we concerned? I mean, like
Because we're having fun discussing.
like we're trying to make sense of something that is completely nonsense.
I know, but here's
We're
what's
trying to figure
weird
out if there's
about
something.
it is because the movie establishes the hell out of Miami.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Not only just for the opening sequence, but after that as well.
Yep.
But then when the characters escape from what they go through and end up on shore of this place, they immediately say, well, it's not Trinidad, but it's this place. And no, it's never at any point after that does anyone say, what has happened to Miami?
Yeah.
It is just, oh God, this tiny island
The
has
implication is that there's somewhere like Cuba because the place is full of like
Yes.
1950s cars and
Yes,
stuff.
the bad guys are driving like this Coupe de Ville.
Yeah, that look brand new. I mean, like like not just like rust
Yeah.
buckets. I mean, like like we'd have to keep these going.
So your logical thoughts are like, well, if we're on Atlantis, where did all this shit come from, and why is it old?
Right.
And because like if they're stealing stuff, why did it stop? But if these
And also, why are there power lines? Like little things.
yes,
Like,
but also if these are Atlantisians and they have come over to Miami, how did they get? Where did they get these cars and bikes and shit? Like,
Yeah, and Crystal Skull was already a regular person somewhere because
just-
we saw him walk up to the door.
he was just like
wearing
a dude in a
or
suit
something.
and
Yeah.
just put that thing on, like he was activated or something.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe they were just people
they're
in
like
Miami.
they're Atlantean sleeper agents.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because, I mean, yes, Manuel freaks out, and the guy they kidnap also freaks out, so they have some weird mind control thing.
It's a Manchurian MK Ultra thing.
Sure.
It's a Manuelian tree.
Manuelian candidate. Manuelian candidate. There it is. We got there in the end. Manuel, R.I.P. We hardly knew you.
Yeah.
I'm going to accidentally say that at somebody's funeral one day and lose a third of my friends. And
Yeah, but you'll gain
gain 7.
R.I.P. in peace or something.
R.I.P. in peace. We hardly knew ye. Yeah.
Sorry for your lots.
Yeah. Some Atlantean MK Ultra here.
Yeah. So the people on the boat have survived.
Yeah.
They look over and they see 4 or 5 people who survived off of the oil rig thing. The stranded people fire a flare up into the air.
Despite them being like 50 feet away.
They're within shouting distance because you cut to the boat and you can hear them. The people on the boat also fire off a flare. Like they're both looking at each other, and it's like, okay, well we could do that too.
And then hard cut to survivors from the platform are now in blankets on the boat.
Yeah.
Like they've been rescued and like already having the what's going on situation.
I mean, no need to show that.
Except
But
that
this movie does this a lot.
Yeah, I was going to say,
It
except
hard
in the
cuts.
movie to like we just spent 15 minutes of a helicopter circling that meant nothing to.
Yeah, it's real weird.
Yeah.
But this happens a lot.
Sure.
But also, like, there are some moments where it's like, yeah, okay, we didn't need to see that.
I get
Like,
it. I mean, I'm okay with that leap in logic. I mean, in that like survivors boat, assuming rescue, they're there. cut to germane parts of the plot. The problem is there are no germane parts to this plot. And
There are no germane parts of this plot. I rest my case.
There's one germane part.
Yeah,
of the
there's
plot.
one germane.
He shows up later.
damn it, I was actually getting there. I was saving that for later. That was like there.
I didn't know you were building layers.
Why I
like
used
the
the word
composer.
I was just trying to sneak that one in there so I could get to it later.
Okay.
Anyway,
Sure. Sorry.
all right, it's okay. Yeah, a little German comes later. But,
Mm-hmm.
anyway, yeah. So the survivors are here, and then they're like, "Well, yeah. When the EMP happened, the Atlantean EMP, we lost our engine, so they send the professor with some coconuts down below deck to fix the engine, and he does.
He does. He fixes the
Oh,
cable.
yeah, he reverses the polarity of the
He
Jeffries
does. He
tube.
actually fucking says that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, all right. But so they
That's
just
not how anything works, but okay.
they drive around for a while, and it's just like, hey, Washington likes to go in circles. Haha. Anyway, we're fucked.
Yeah, because they're just like, I wonder which way land is from here.
Yeah.
Or which, because actually, I think they're like, no, I'm sorry, no, they do not want to go back to where the X platform was.
No,
They've
that's-
just come from there.
Yeah, that's much later. But
Yeah.
eventually, they just take off their shirts and swim to this island, and they're like, okay, here's some land. Let's go back and get everybody else. So they
But it's a hard cut, and I swear the ADR says something like, "Oh man, I didn't expect us to just crash somewhere like here." And it's like, wait, you crashed here?
you
Like,
never see the boat.
Yeah, you never see the boat again.
No.
So maybe they did. I don't know.
It seemed like
there was a thing where somebody was below decks and the boat went and what's his name, Mike, the boat literally went
Yeah,
go
and
watch
so
the
did,
movie
and so
again.
did they
You'll
when
hear
they were driving through the storm. It was
right.
like they're doing their Star Trek.
Whoa.
But yeah, there was a point where he said, I think we hit something. Let me go
Okay.
up above decks, and
Well,
then it cut to shirtless.
Yeah, and then they go
shirtless
back.
But yeah,
Seattle.
anyway, they're on
And
they're
then they
on
go
an
back,
island.
yeah.
They're
Yes.
on whatever, or possibly the mainland. We don't know.
Miami, an island, the Keys.
My island.
It is a landmass of some kind that is not Atlantis. And I want to be very clear about what this movie is from this point on. There is nobody raiding Atlantis ever at any point.
If anything, Atlantis may be raiding us.
Yes.
In Soviet Italy,
We didn't
raid Atlantis.
Yeah, we didn't raid Atlantis.
Atlantis raided us.
Yes.
So, I mean, they just get to a town square, and there's one guy who's strapped to a street sign, and one of the guys they brought with them is immediately freaking out, like, we have to get him down, man. And they just start calling this guy Father John or something like that, and he becomes that panicky idiot guy.
Oh, because you got Misty a lot.
They just kind of walk into the town square, and Manuel shows back up down the street. He's like, hey, you got to get out of here. They're going to take the lady. And they're just like, what are you talking about, Manuel? He's like, we're going to take the lady. We're going to do it. And then he runs around the corner, and half the motorcycle gang is there waiting. And he's like, hey, guys, the ladies, they're here with the lady. Don't shoot the messenger. And then they shoot the messenger. So they kill Manuel. And then you've just got two groups of the street gang, and they're like, we're here now. And everyone's like, maybe we should talk to them. And then immediately it's made known, no, you're not going to do that.
Yeah.
So they run inside this, or no, they have
Father-
gone in. They've
They
gone
go
inside first because there's a dead body that's slamming up against a jukebox, and that goes on forever until they finally stop it. And then while they're inside, they see all this shit go down.
Yeah, R.I.P. in peace, Fonzie.
Yeah. So this is just a long sequence of them in this building avoiding getting shot. They go upstairs.
and also shooting some of the crazy Atlantean thug persons.
Yes. The father panicky idiot guy says, they're human. We can reason with them. And goes outside goes outside to reason with them. And he's like, no blood, no more blood spilled, and they immediately spill his blood.
Yes.
And then
Boots. I don't know. I'm going to call him Boots because he's the guy that took his shoes off for a while.
the radio operator
Yeah.
guy. Yeah,
He-
he's like, I'll find us a way out of here.
And just walks out the
Runs
front
off.
door,
He runs out the front door.
and then walks right past one of the raider dudes or
Yeah.
interceptors, whatever the hell they are. I'm going to call them raiders because it's easier.
Sure.
Less syllables. But runs right past them, and then the guy's just like, and then we don't see that guy again. He's just like,
No, we do. They're
Well,
marching him down the street
right, yes.
shortly thereafter.
yes, they are dragging him behind the bikes or whatever.
Yeah.
But
It is implied that he becomes dead.
No,
Right,
it's implied that he actually becomes one of them.
He-
Because
yeah,
we
because
see him
he's-
again later.
he's on the island
Like,
later.
he shoots.
is he? Oh.
He shoots one of the main characters. I
Yes,
wanna
he
say.
does.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's
yeah.
that guy.
yeah. He shoots the helicopter pilot, dude.
Yeah.
Anyway, but like that guy, gets drug off, and then like main dude is like, all right, I'll find his way out, and also goes out the front door, but thankfully looks around for like 3 seconds, closes the door again, and then
Says
goes,
that won't work.
goes to the back door.
Well, because all the motorcycle dudes are just riding around the town square, just in a circle.
Shooting at them and stuff, which
Yes.
it's like that would be a lot easier
Yeah.
if you would stop.
Yeah. And there's like at one point, one dude just jumps up and is like, I'm going to go down there. And Washington's like, get the fuck down, you idiot. So yeah, he goes out the front door and is like, this won't work. And then he's like, what about the back door?
Yeah. And
It
then-
fucking works.
Yeah, they literally just walk out the back door and get away.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah, but they get to another building basically, which is just a gun emporium.
they found the old jail of whatever place they were.
Yeah.
It's the police station because this is
station,
where
yeah.
they find
Okay.
the germane part of the plot. There's Johnny from Cobra Kai is like.
No, they meet the other people first. It's not till those people are pretty much eliminated before
Yes,
they meet.
I'm sorry, you're right.
Cobra
yeah,
Kai
yeah, that's
guy.
right. I forgot the other
Yeah,
completely useless survivors.
Yeah, they meet Johnny Cool Guy and his two lady friends who were headed out to a party somewhere when all of a sudden.
It was Johnny Not Cool Guy, his
Yeah.
wife and his daughter. I think. yeah.
Okay, well,
Something. Yeah.
Anyway, they all die.
Yeah,
like,
they're all super shell shocked. I mean, they're.
yeah, they've seen some shit.
It's weird because like they come into the movie and it's basically like they're supposed to be the oh my god, this was
Yeah.
they're supposed to be like the plot device of like, oh my god, this is so horrible.
Like they were there
we're
when the
gonna-
zombie outbreak
We're going to tell
started.
you like all the horrible things they did to make them more evil, but it doesn't really matter.
No, they're just there and shell shocked and contribute nothing.
right.
And the two ladies are immediately killed off.
Oh yeah.
Like just immediately killed off in stupid ways.
Well, one of them, the one who doesn't appear to be the wife, whoever she is like tells the story of like I was a school teacher.
Yes, the famed one.
Well, I was a school teacher, and oh my god, they had no mercy. I mean, it's like she's telling some dark stories. It's like I watched them come in and murder all the school
Yeah.
children, basically.
Yeah.
And then 2 seconds later, she gets fucking flamethrowered to death.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's her.
Well, there's one siege that they make it through, and then
no, the daughter gets flamethrowed
Yeah.
thrown
Yeah.
to death
I
first.
think
yeah.
that was the teacher.
Oh, well.
I think. I don't know. Whatever. I'm just saying she has this whole like horrible like oh god the bees story, and then it's just like this dude just. I mean, they've been throwing homemade Molotov cocktails and stuff out the window for the last 10 minutes, but basically, flamethrower dude just finally makes it up to the window and
Yeah.
flamethrows this lady.
there's
This has a real high number of Molotov cocktails, though.
they find a huge crate of these things, and
It's like a crate full of booze or something,
Yeah.
maybe. I don't know.
And they throw
but
all
they
of
throw they throw more than they had.
Yes.
Easily.
yes. And the thing
So
is,
that's a plus, one in the plus column.
the dudes with the guns never hit anyone except for someone who has been set on fire. If someone gets set on fire, 5 seconds later, that person gets shot.
I would say that that every time somebody gets set on fire, they also get shot.
Yeah, that's what
But
I'm
it's
saying.
not true that they only hit guys who are on fire.
Pretty much. I mean, most everyone else just gets chased off
I
by.
mean, unless they're like
Oh, a lot of
foot
guys
away,
die.
because
Yeah.
they will quite often pop up like from places they probably shouldn't be and just
Yeah.
go and then get shotgun from like a foot away.
Right. Several dudes die
Yeah.
multiple times over the course of the film.
That or they just get butt stocked. Like,
Oh, yeah.
when they pop up. I mean, it's just
yeah, my
welcome-
granddad was a
welcome-
buttstock.
welcome to buttstock. He probably doesn't
He was
want
in
you
the
telling
shit.
that story. And you definitely don't want to be in the shit at buttstock.
No, you don't want to be in
No,
the shit.
yeah.
You're always in the shit at buttstock. That's the
That's the
problem.
tagline, yeah.
This town needs an enema.
Welcome to Buttstock. Yeah, so anyway, they survive 2 waves of motorcycle gang attacking them. And then it's like dawn, and
Yeah.
main guy's like, I'm going to go scout. And he gets like 5 feet away, and then there's a guy dressed as fucking
Johnny from
Johnny
Cobra
from Karate Kid.
Yeah, yeah.
And
But he's German.
yeah, but at first you're like, well, here's another dumbass from the motorcycle gang who's
Right.
got the drop on him.
Because
And-
he's wearing like a bolt cut, like one handcuff
Yeah.
and stuff. And
Yeah.
I mean, he's wearing stupid clothes.
yes.
And
And
a headband.
they come in contact with each other and struggle for a bit, and then
Over the money. Like the money from the original job keeps coming up for
Yeah.
some strange reason.
yeah, well, as they struggle, the money falls out of the main dude's pocket, onto the ground. And then they just both stop and kind of stare at it. And they're like, you're still about the money, huh?
Well, the main dude's just like, oh, forget the fight. I'm going for the money. And
Yeah.
then that guy, he's just like, typical American. Always do it for the money. That's a
And then they're
terrible
friends. And then he's like, come on back with me, guy. And then he takes this guy back.
accent. Yeah, they are friends now.
And he's like, I am German. I was in one of your prisons. And now I'm not.
Yeah.
And okay, new friend to replace the two dead women. And also the scientist, the professor lady has been stolen at one point because she backed herself into a corner and dudes jumped in.
At some
went,
point,
"Yoink."
Crystal Skull was like, we're going to kill you all except for one. And then they spend a couple of minutes like, who could it be? I don't know. Who could it be now?
And one was like, it's the lady.
Yeah.
That's what Manuel said, dumbass. So
I think it was the professor. Was it the professor that said it? Oh, it's me.
maybe. I don't know.
Somebody had a.
I realized at
little
some
quip
point
there.
they did take him in the back and plug him into the hyperdrive because they got the boat working.
Yeah. I like how the professor gets the power on, but then becomes fucking useless whenever there's gunfighting going on, and then is just a whiny crybaby. And then,
There's
like,
a weird,
Classic
like,
professor character.
there's a very strange, like, we're going to attempt to show low-budget graphic violence and then have people bemoan violence throughout this movie. Because, like, the
one lady gets shot through the mouth with an arrow.
Oh, yeah, that's true. The other lady of the
crossbow.
Yeah. And then Jerry, or whatever the fuck his name was, the guy makes it out of that location and onto this bus that they find somehow. Because I want to say it just like cuts to like they're speeding away in the bus, or maybe I tuned out for a second. I don't know.
The two main characters go out front and they're like, we need to find transportation. Main guy gets on a motorcycle, the other guy gets on a motorcycle, and then he's like, I don't know how to ride. And the guy says, just run. And he's like, okay. And so he runs off. And the implication is, as he was running, he found a bus and brought the bus back. They all got on the bus and then
so the
left.
one final survivor from that one building of useless people. So the one lady takes an arrow straight through the mouth. I
Yes.
mean, like she's literally like arrow through the mouth.
Yes.
Um,
Message for you, ma'am.
Yeah. And then this dude just gets shot like on the bus, like just so.
Yes, because
by the way, we didn't kill that guy. Whoops.
yeah, he had a panicky idiot moment of just like everyone just kind of casually is like, all right, let's go. And they all just start going out the front door. And the guy's like, what about me? Don't leave me. It's like, well, just follow them. What are you doing? They're not preventing you from going.
I mean, I will give him that. Of all the weird reactions of people, I will give this person that because he did just watch the two people he was surviving with die within a 2 minute
Sure.
span.
But they didn't tell him to stay behind.
No.
And he was not trapped by anything. It's just they all start leaving. And he's like, well, what about me? It's like, also go.
I know, but that's what panic is.
I know.
You forget how to
Yes,
do
but this
basic-
movie is not accurate about anything,
I get
including
it.
human
But-
behavior.
But also the language lady also has a weird moment of like, I will never kill somebody. You know, like I refuse
Oh,
to kill anybody.
she
And
has
then
that
90
moment.
90 seconds later,
Yes,
she
she's-
shoots someone.
She's like, I've made up my mind and I never change my mind.
Yes.
I don't know why she's Penelope Cruz now.
I'm not sure
Yeah,
either.
yeah.
But yeah, the moment she touches the gun, she's like, no, I will not shoot anyone. And he's like, well, you might. And she's like, no, I never changed my mind. And then
2 seconds later, like one of the raiders
Yeah.
like pops up like, and she's like, blam. She's like, and then she's like, for half a second, she's like, I killed him, man. Oh God.
yeah, it's like, well,
And he's just like, let it go, Elsa.
yeah. Yeah. So anyway, they're on a bus. And then a helicopter shows up again. And you're like, oh, God, what's going to happen now? Well, dudes just start jumping out of this helicopter and landing on the bus. And as soon as they land on the bus, they get shot. It's kind of comical how this keeps happening. One dude jumps out of the helicopter from an extraordinary height.
Yeah, like bordering on Hooper height.
Yeah. And is immediately thrown off the bus.
Oh, yeah.
I believe the first two people who jump onto the bus are the ones who manage to kill the one remaining survivor dude
Right.
from that party.
Yes.
And they're just like, Larry's dead.
Well, the one that did the Hooper hop from the helicopter, like
Hoopa hop.
he gets like half a second to like stop and be like, "Holy fuck, I made it!" Because the thing is like they're jumping from the skids of this helicopter onto this moving bus thing.
Yeah, at
but,
speed.
But they're not like diving; they're landing on feet.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
they're jumping down and like and but this one dude like Hooper hops off the helicopter and like stops, lands on his feet, like turns around like, "Holy shit, I made it!" And
Yeah.
then just like immediately like blam and falls
Yeah.
off the bus.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think we just need to pause and appreciate how good those stunts are. They're wasted because those guys are all murdered immediately.
It's
but
weird.
they're awesome.
It's a weird, like, we should do these stunts, but it's like, yeah, but we don't have anything for them to do after they land.
They could let him get in the bus or something. Like,
Sure.
these guys
One
leave
dude
this
tries.
thing. Yeah, he gets murdered immediately.
Because they all know what's coming.
Yeah, and also these guys like have left the police station with even better guns than they had before.
Oh, yeah.
There's the gun from the cover of the DVD or Blu-ray.
Yes,
whatever.
main dude has an unlimited supply of ammo in this gun, except no grenades.
Right. He's got
None.
he's got one of those underbarrel grenade launchers, and he never uses it.
Nope. Because there comes a time when he's like, enough of this shit, and goes out. He doesn't have to go outside to eliminate this helicopter. He just needs to stick the gun out the window and shoot it. But instead, he climbs up to the top of the bus, lays down on his back, and then just starts shooting at the helicopter until it, catches on fire and smokes and eventually crashes.
That was the point where he needed to use the grenade launcher.
Yeah, that's what the grenade launcher is for.
I don't think he ever used it.
No,
he
not
didn't.
once.
Yeah.
Not one grenade is fired from this gun.
Nary a grenade.
Right.
I mean, there are some grenades, but never is the
Never is the underbarrel
Projectile.
grenade
Yeah,
launcher
yeah.
yet.
There's one lady in the motorcycle gang who instead on her gun, instead of a scope, has a rocket on it. And I was like, well, that's going to be awesome when that gets... That's just set dressing bullshit. It's cool. Like, what if I didn't have a scope? What if I just had a missile? But, yeah, your face...
It'd be hilarious when it burns your face off. Yeah.
Exactly right. Aim.
Oh, we should have tested this first.
So where do they drive to? Okay. So we find out they're driving to a helicopter.
They're driving a what's his face's helicopter. I'm pretty sure it's the same helicopter. I don't know why it's here.
No, it's a different helicopter.
No, that helicopter.
Well, it is the same helicopter.
No,
but no. I mean,
no.
This
is a normal ass chopper. The helicopter that landed on the oil rig was a fancy, like, with landing gear and shit.
Completely different
Yeah,
helicopter. Yeah.
totally different helicopter. We never see that helicopter again.
This helicopter was seen at some point earlier in this movie. I guarantee you.
Well, it was similar to the one that they blew out of the sky
Sure.
during the bus chase, but this is just a
not
normal
really.
ass green army helicopter.
Okay.
This is a Huey.
Yes.
This is a green Huey.
Yeah.
They mentioned earlier that somebody says, I thought I saw a helicopter.
Right.
I thought
somewhere.
this was like that black one because it had like two weird like antenna spiky things on the front. I remember
It does,
going
but
around.
it's a
It
fucking
does, but it
normal
wasn't.
ass
Yeah.
helicopter.
So they had
Yeah.
the it's like a Sikorsky Sea King was the first helicopter, and then this was the Huey, and then like a Bell Jet Ranger or some normal ass helicopter was the one
so
from the bus chase.
Sikorsky seeking?
Seeking the skies, you idiot!
Oh,
Duh! How did you not know that?
Also, I don't think he was Sikh. I think he was Muslim.
No, that was Muhammad.
yeah.
Oh, you mean Washington?
Third base. Anyway, different helicopters.
Anyway,
It
they've decided there's a helicopter here, and they're going to go get it. So they go get it. They crash through a bus barricade, and then it is just a parade of dudes getting shot. This is just dudes going through a tight space left by the wreckage of this crash, all getting shot. And then they're all like, come on, get on the helicopter. And they all get on the helicopter except for Mike. And Mike is just standing there shooting more dudes, and dudes are riding their motorcycle off into the water, off this pier into the water. And then eventually the dudes in the helicopter
Well,
are
they're
like,
just shouting like, "Come on, Mike! Come
Yeah.
on! Like you're the last one!
Yeah, like, stop
more,
shooting,
No
let's
more
go."
Cover fire. We're Oscar, Mike.
yeah. And they start to leave.
Yeah, they do.
And eventually they're just like, Mike, for fuck's sake, get over here. And he climbs up on top of the bus and then has to, jump up on the helicopter and then is just hanging on as it flies away.
He climbs up on the bus just so he can shoot more dudes.
Yeah. And then Washington is just like, Mike, get the fuck in here. And eventually they all pull him in. And, okay, this might actually be the best part of the movie because he goes and gets in the co-pilot's chair. And he says to his friend, he's like, I know a little bit about flying a helicopter, and he's like, oh, that's what worries me. People know a little bit. Ha ha. And then, like, a couple of seconds later, he's like, take the controls for a second. I need to do something. And as soon as that happens, it's just like, whoa, whoa.
I mean, it's like they have a shot of his hand going onto the stick.
Yes.
And like the second it touches, it's just like all the sirens are going off. Like,
It's just like, you've killed us all. What have you done? He's like, I didn't do anything.
that's what's so great about it. It's just the immediacy that everything goes wrong.
It's so dumb and so good. Anyway, they don't crash. They almost crash, but
They should have crashed.
But then they're just like, all
This
right,
is where they get to actual Atlantis, I believe. Right?
yeah, they're like, okay, I've got coordinates for the island.
By the way. Okay, go on.
actual Atlantis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, they're like, we got these coordinates. It's over there. And then he's like, hey, Washington, where do you think the island is? And he's like, I don't know, it's probably over there. And he's like, he's always off by 180 degrees. You're right. Go over the other direction. And they do, and they're just like, oh, there it is. And it's just this fucking huge thing.
Well, that's
Also,
it's another one of those weird shots where the guy's like, "I think I see an island." That's the thing. Is like he's like, "I think I see an island,"
And then we get a shot of the
cut
entire
to
island.
Fucking Catalina. Like it's just this giant goddamn island.
Also, could they find an island that is a little bit less dong-shaped? Like,
I think all islands are kind of dog shaped.
No.
Well,
not
you get
all
some
islands.
round islands. I mean, unless you've just seen some weird
Oh, you
dongs.
mean clam shaped islands?
yeah, clam-shaped. But yeah, this is just a big old dongy,
Yeah.
floppy island
Like a
out there.
turd island. Yeah. And then just, I don't know, a tractor beam pulls them in, basically, is the explanation.
Yeah.
Because he's like, it feels like a kid with a kite. And it's like, yeah, okay, tractor beam, whatever. And they make a simple landing.
Oh yeah, the guy's panicking like fuck. He's like, everybody brace. It's going to be the worst landing I've ever had. And then it just gently, like the camera shot we get is it just gently setting down on the beach.
Yep.
And then everybody does Star Trek acting in the helicopter.
They get out and they're like, wow, we're on an island. And then immediately just Stunt Team Spectacular shows up and starts shooting at them. They split up for some reason. Oh, they see a submarine. And man, there is 2 seconds of the most nonsensical dialogue ever to explain what they're doing, but it's basically, hey, Professor, go something the nukes, and then that'll help us get off the island. And you're like, okay.
Well, yeah, I want to say that he's like, the radiation from the nuclear vessel must have activated Atlantis.
Raise the island.
So if you go deactivate the nukes, the island should go home.
Just turn them off. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Radiation just goes back
I
inside when you
think
turn them off.
I think that's basically what they're like. Is like, you go deactivate the nukes and maybe Atlantis will just go away.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's exactly
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, all right, I'll take a helicopter pilot guy with me. And then some more, even more nonsensical dialogue. Something about, that's a Russian submarine, right? Do you think they have vodka?
Yeah.
Because
It's
the
like-
liquor stores around here are all closed. Ha ha.
Yeah.
And then the professor, I think, says, I prefer Polish?
He does say, I prefer Polish.
Prefer Polish.
I also prefer Polish
What
vodka.
Oh, vodka?
Yeah,
Oh,
Polish
okay.
vodka.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that was a thing. I was like, I guess I've never
You
thought,
uncultured swine.
I just don't think of vodka as like a geographic beverage. I think that's more of it is like vodka is universal. I know Russians like it, but I don't think of it as like the only place it's made and consumed. That's why I didn't understand. I was like, I didn't understand the Polish. Like I was like,
Yeah.
versus that's not a drink. Like that's why I was trying. Like in my head, I'm like,
no. He
I
just
don't-
meant yeah. Like
Yeah.
there's differences between Polish and Russian.
Okay, I get it now.
It's like bourbon and whiskey.
Yeah. Okay. Or Scotch. It's
Soda.
all types of whiskey. It's just where it's made. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
There's a lot that's
Oh,
not.
I couldn't give less of a shit.
Yes,
I
but I don't want
seriously-
people to think you're an idiot.
I don't care. Alcohol's alcohol. It's about getting fucked up.
Right on.
I don't know. I don't know. It's just like, to me, there's certain things like when you get to be a connoisseur of whatever, it's like, really? Like that's what you want to be a connoisseur of? Like getting fucked up with like a better taste? I don't know. It's just like, well, you say there's different strains of heroin. It's like,
Go on.
why is that
Well,
not
there's-
acceptable? Like, I'm a
there's
heroin
people-
connoisseur.
There's people who go on about all the different types of things you can consume.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Anything.
I get it.
Mushrooms and colas.
I
and
get it, and weed people won't
weed,
shut up.
Mushrooms
Yeah,
and
yeah.
cola.
I get it. I just think anyone that knows that much about anything is generally kind of annoying.
Well, good luck. Because, well, I mean, you're in luck because
You are
that
one of those
character is
people,
about
and
to
we are
die.
all those people too. So
Yeah.
welcome to your entire life as
Yes,
annoying.
this is episode 525 of
Yeah.
the Bad Movie Fiends podcast. We know a thing or two
Sure.
about these things.
I guess.
Like when someone says, hey, Waterworld's a bad movie, you're like, listen, fucker, you haven't seen Raiders of Atlantis, you dumb shit.
I think the difference is I know how to not get into pedantic arguments, and so many people.
Oh, I don't
that
know.
are- I mean,
I've been on this podcast a lot.
not with y'all. I'm talking about random ass people, which is what too many people that are like, what it's the difference between what I call as a geek and a nerd. A nerd is somebody who's like, I know this one thing.
This is
and
a
that's-
pedantic argument. Also,
A nerd is like, I can only talk about this one thing, and whatever thing circles back around to this, right?
Right.
Okay. And I'm saying that, like, I can hear somebody say a movie fact wrong or say an actor's name wrong, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I don't give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I understand.
Whatever.
I just want to share my knowledge with the world.
Okay.
So the guy who wanted Polish vodka goes into a submarine.
I've heard this joke
And
before.
and it had
from
screen doors.
15 minutes ago.
It actually did have screen doors.
It does. It has windows on it.
It does have windows.
He
yeah.
he immediately goes in and starts crawling around looking for the nukes to turn off, and it's like there's light coming in from what? Fucking windows. Bad. You should not have those. To wrap this dude's story up,
That's why this submarine was at the bottom of the fucking ocean to begin with, I
Right.
guess.
They shouldn't have raised it because it was stupid. Let it die. He turns off the nukes, gets out, and is immediately shot in the head.
By the guy from earlier?
Is he the one that shoots him?
I
Or did
believe-
he-
James?
I believe so. I believe James, he's like, I did it.
Yeah,
Hey,
I
James.
couldn't remember if he shot the professor or he shot.
No, a random dude shoots
shot-
the helicopter
shot-
pilot.
yeah.
Yeah, someone just pops up and shoots the helicopter pilot.
Okay.
Just random ass dude. Whoever gets shot, Washington runs over to them and just screams, "No, person, you're my favorite. Why?"
It was the professor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he runs over to the professor and just starts shooting up at the trees like, "You sons of bitches, I will kill you all."
Oh, actually, no, he did that for the pilot dude. Because
Oh, you're right.
yeah, because like he found he died like behind him or something. Because
Yeah,
he's
just
he's
had to
like,
tell me I was wrong.
Yeah.
huh? I like the shot because the guy's like, we pointed out that the dude gets shot in the back and then continues to
He just
kill like three
keeps
more
going
people.
like,
Oh, yeah.
like Terminator style until he like
He got
walks-
shot like down where you would like it would go directly through your lung.
Yes.
Oh,
I just
Yeah.
like that he keeps stumbling and then falls. And that's when Mohammed/Washington sees him and runs over and has the platoon moment of
He's
like,
like, "You son of a bitch."
"Ah,
Just
no."
randomly shoots up in the
Yeah.
trees.
and gets one money.
There's a dude who got hit by his bullets and he falls out of a tree.
Yeah. This whole location is like very Predator 1-ish because it's like this lagoon and very high banking just rainforest all around it basically. And so it's just like he's shooting into the tree. So this guy, when he falls, it's like not only out of a tree but like off a cliff.
Yeah. Yes.
It's just a pretty good shot.
It is. So, okay, eventually, so helicopter pilot is dead, professor is dead, Karate Kid Man is off with Mike, and he gets shot, but we don't know it yet.
Mm-hmm.
And throughout the film, he has been like, I was, that's a story for another time. It's a longer story.
He keeps like abbreviated Family Guying.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, this reminds me of that one time I did a thing in Argentina, but
Yeah.
I'll tell you later.
Yeah. So he does this one last time as he's leaning against a rock, and Mike has his back to him, and you just see this guy do this ridiculous pratfall like, and I'm dead. And Mike turns around and is like, aw, I liked you. Anyway, I guess you're dead. So Washington runs up and is just like, all right, it's just us. Let's go. And they
No,
get...
I actually didn't run. He doesn't show up so much towards the end that I started to question whether he was still alive.
Oh, well...
I mean, he did his like no thing to the pilot dude and then disappeared for a while because Mike, the main dude, finds his way into like the future Aztec treasure room and stuff.
All right, he's in there by himself at first, yeah.
Yeah, because like first he goes through like he sees the door version of the tablet that he's now carrying around.
Yep. But before he gets there is when Crystal Skull shows up.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, we will fight now to the death. We are mortal enemies or whatever.
They have the most confusing fight.
I don't understand what weapon Crystal Skull has.
It's like a whip thing.
The whole time we've seen him, he's mostly been like, Mad Maxy style on his big cart trike thing, whatever, just with this like cane, patent style pointer thing.
he's like a conductor.
Yeah.
He is just
and
like,
he's just like go.
go.
So I think the implication is almost like that thing also becomes like a cat and nine tails.
Yeah.
But also is like a cane sword, of course, because
Sure.
why would you not have that? But they have like the weirdest, most brief, like poorly shot lit.
It's also very it's super telegraphed.
And then it basically, eventually, he just cracks him over his crystal head thing, which explodes. I mean, because I don't. Do we really explain that it's like his crystal skull is like this plastic mask with like eye and nose holes cut out?
Yeah.
But it's otherwise just this clear crystal plastic.
It's got kind of a grill on it.
Just to look kind of like a skull, but you can clearly just also see the Nazi dude behind it.
But it shatters, and they have set up in the same corner where the other weird head trauma violence scenes were shot. They just set up a head and throw some glass at it, and a couple of pieces stick into the rubber mask that they've created, and a little bit of blood comes out, and it's like, well, all right,
but that's
you tried.
But also, it's just like, oh, you just sort of defeated the main villain, maybe, but then has to walk into the altar room,
right?
Which is just there's this weird glowing eye face altar thing that just starts shooting laser beams. I mean, it's almost like a Sphinx altar. It's got like a flat surface.
It's like
with
a
head.
sauna.
Yeah.
It's just a room with a thing in the middle of it and some benches.
What sauna have you been to that has a laser sphinx in it?
I'm gonna tell you some stories.
Seriously, what
was in
sauna?
Argentina.
Tell me where it is.
You may have gone to a sauna where you got your sphincter lasered, but
Tell me where the sphincter laser sauna is, Chuck.
Okay, I will.
Right now, I want to know.
I can't. It's one of those things you can't talk about publicly, but I'll tell you privately.
We're not in the public. We're in private.
We're on the internet.
It's just you and me and
it's
like
the
4
internet
people.
and 3 others.
Bill?
Some of whom are ladies.
So they might want to get their sphincters lasered too. Come on, Chuck. Give up the goods.
is this like some like special laser rub and tug? Like, what are we talking about here?
We just said sphincter laser 6 times.
It's true.
It's for the sphincter.
Oh.
For your behole.
Oh.
You
So
know.
it's more like the intruders than the raiders is what you're saying. Yeah, okay.
Trying to get the fire my laser. I'm working on a joke. Hang on. I'm just trying to get somebody to laser the Klingons off of my butthole. Off of Uranus. There's a joke in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Pretend I made it.
My anus. Your anus.
My-
I
your-
don't want to talk about your anus.
I've been talking about it for like 5 minutes.
Anyway. Yeah, this is where Washington just shows back up and shoots the laser sphinx and just shows that it's a goddamn robot behind it, which is, and starts making you ask more questions that this movie will not answer. Like, are these...
This is Atlantean
technology, or is it like, are we talking like this is like Stargate and they're aliens from long ago? I mean, that, I'm saying like it makes you start going like, wow, that's weird. Why
This is the first Guardian before you get to the chamber room of the ABBA in a car wash.
Sure. That almost makes sense.
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
So anyway, they defeat the laser room.
Yeah.
And they get into a hallway, and they start just blowing some smoke down the hallway, which is to indicate that there is a large amount of wind pushing them down towards the end of the hallway that has a spinny fan that has a giant blade on it.
Yeah, it's like the horizontal version of the scene from Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
Like with the...
It is.
fizzy lifting drinks.
This requires the most acting from our 2 leads in the entire film because they really have to sell that they are being blown down this hallway, which they are definitely not.
But they keep doing this weird thing where
Their strategy is bad.
Well,
they
yeah, they're
they
going-
keep linking arms.
they're going into the fan, Carol Ann. I mean,
Yeah.
like, I don't really understand why they're not trying to go the other way.
I think what they're trying to do is throw each other into each of the dividers in the room to get to where the final door is. But it just seems like they keep trying this. If we stick together, we won't get blown into the fan. Oh no, I've thrown you backwards closer to the fan. Let's try again. Oh no, I've thrown you back closer to the fan. And then they get like right on the fan, and Washington's like, I'm just going to shoot it. And he shoots the fan, and that stops it.
It actually didn't. He just fell to the side. He actually, I think he lost his gun into the fan. But the
Is
fan
that
kept,
what happened?
Yeah, the
'Cause
fan
he does
kept going.
shoot it.
He did shoot it, yes.
Yeah,
but
it didn't do shit.
Yeah, I don't think it did anything.
Okay.
He just, they're like, well, we're at the end, and I rolled to the side.
All right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because, I don't think the fan stops until, because then they go in another room, and I don't think we mentioned that we've seen a couple of brief flashes of Kathy, the language lady, after she got...
Dr. Kathy.
Dr. Kathy, language lady.
Dr. Kathy.
Dr. Kathy.
Give her due.
She got kidnapped and is basically like turned into a thrall of them or something because she's like all
Sure.
made up and stuff.
She's got kabuki makeup
Yeah.
on, and she is...
But yeah, she's in the ABBA car wash room, which, to be fair, is... She's in this room that's like all future-y, I mean, I'm saying future like Logan's Run style future where it's
Right.
like real acrylic bullshit, like everything. But like she's standing in this room and she's all like Kim Cattrall at the end of Big Trouble in Little China. She's just gotten kabuki'd up and like like all this dumb makeup and stuff, and but there's this screen with like out of focus. I think it's just the single one main Nazi dude who was Crystal Skull. Was
it him? I could never tell.
I thought it was just average
Maybe.
Average
Atlantis
white band.
citizen.
Sure. I mean, it's just
duplicated on all the screens.
It's just blonde hair Nazi ABBA person, whatever.
And that person is just like
Are we
in
sure
a robe.
they're Nazis, or are they just because
He's
they were like
saying
blonde,
Nazi
blue
'cause
eyes?
they're
Just
Aryan.
the Aryan thing. I mean,
Okay.
Yeah.
And the guy mentioned being in Argentina and he had a
Right.
German accent. I'm like, do the math here.
You skipped all that, I think.
But like this guy is just standing there in a robe, looking upwards, just kind of making nom 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 faces to whatever he's looking at, while they are pouring water in front of whatever he's standing in front of.
Yes.
And that's the effect.
Yeah. And then it's just like she has been working on whatever code thing from the tablet.
Right.
Because they have this weird, like, everything slows down kind of, and you gotta do the thing. And it's basically.
And there's some like hieroglyphs that are
Yeah.
being projected on a screen, and she's like, no, that's the wrong one. It's this one. It's the doggy.
if
And-
I do this, then the Atlanteans will come back. And
Yeah.
they're like, do it.
Yeah. And she's like, I don't know if I want to. And then they explode into the room, Mike and Washington, and immediately are hit by this light. And because we don't know what the fuck that means, Washington has to shout, "We've been immobilized."
Yes.
and but they're moving and talking. It's just I don't understand what.
I like that the idea is, okay, just backing up to the guy, like, okay, I can buy the panic of the guy setting in, like, I don't know how to do basic thing, like follow the people to run away. But if you were ever suddenly hit by some sort of thing that would immobilize you,
Yeah.
the fear that would cause would make you unable to immediately conjure the word immobilize.
Right?
I'm just
I
saying,
don't know.
I mean, I'm just thinking, like, if you're like,
Immobilize is always there for me.
I mean, I
And
think
most
you're-
things
I
would
think-
be like, what the fuck
I think
is
you'd just be like, I can't move. You know, I mean, I think like you'd be doing good to get
Yeah.
single
You also
syllable words
can't
out.
lean down to your friend when you've been immobilized and
Yeah.
go, I've been immobilized.
Yeah, they're looking back and forth at
Yeah.
each other. It's just like, what? Did they just have hold of your feet? Like,
Your mouth is working.
yeah. Yeah.
But your fucking brain isn't.
Wow.
Anyway, he's like, lady, and she's like, mind stuff. And he's like, yeah, but tablet. And the tablet flies across the room and lands exactly where the tablet's supposed to go. And then unlocks something and things happen. And then
She disappears,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. Or she
Yeah.
goes into the screens. And then she's like, Mike,
Yeah.
help me, Mike.
I'm on TV.
It's gonna happen,
And we
Mike.
make
The
more Willy Wonka references for the whole
thing-
episode.
Yeah, and they're not immobilized, and they're just like, well, she's in the screen now. Let's leave. So they leave. They run out, and they go get in the helicopter, and he just starts flipping switches and shit. And Washington's like, thought you knew how to fly this. And he's like,
Also, keep in mind, at this point, the shield, which is like, when you would say shield around an island, big bubble shield, is
Yeah.
now closing.
it's a retractable dome.
Yeah, it's a dome. I mean, this dome is closing, and their sense of like, oh no, we got to get out of here,
Yeah.
is delicately traipse through the jungle, and
There's no panic
Not
happening.
really, and then just casually start up the helicopter. Like it's like, Mike, come
Yeah.
on, shield's closing.
And while he's doing that, Washington turns around, and Kathy is in the helicopter. And they're just like, oh, well, that worked out. And she's like, yup. And you think like this is going to be the one last, like, I'm an Atlantean now, and I'm going to fucking murder you while you try to take off. No. They just fly straight up and out of the dome eventually
But
as the dome tries to close.
Well, as they're like, they have to sell the immediacy of the situation just by like, oh no, it's going to be close. I think we're not going to make it.
oh
We're
yeah,
gonna-
it's just a
we're
lot of
gonna make
talking
it.
about how they're not going to
Yeah,
make it.
It's going to be super close.
Yeah.
I'm telling
Yeah,
you.
they don't have the miniatures for this.
No, they don't.
What's weird is they do sort of like there is a helicopter of a miniature like after the dome closes.
Oh no, that's a real helicopter. It's just a shitty piece of plastic
in
going
front
over
of
the
camera.
over the camera.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. But I mean, I'm just
Yeah.
saying,
They did not have the ability to raise
But
a
I'm
tiny.
saying you could have done dumb tricks like that. At least it would have been something. I mean,
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Well, yeah, because when the tidal wave hit the oil rig,
Oh,
this
yeah.
was in someone's bathtub, and it was fucking amazing.
it was great.
I mean, it was real cheesy, but I honestly kind of liked it.
It was charming as
It
shit.
still reminded me of Cabin Boy, but like when Cabin
Yeah.
Boy's like doing it to be funny,
Right.
But like this is in earnest.
Oh,
Yeah.
this was like, my God, the spectacle. And it's like,
Somebody went down to Michael's and got that $45 oil rig.
It was probably
platform.
Mike.
Yeah, Mike went there.
Got that $45 oil rig platform model set and put it together over a weekend with his dad just so that it could be blown up. It was great.
Yeah, but they get out, and the dome closes, and the island sinks. The dome is not closed, by the way.
No, not closed all the way. But okay, so Mike has stated that he had a few helicopter lessons in Guam.
Mm-hmm.
He's managed to get this thing to take off, but we saw earlier he's not exactly reliable at flying this.
Nope.
And everybody was in the helicopter when we witnessed, or everybody that's alive in this helicopter now was alive then in that helicopter.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, same helicopter, but in that scene where he nearly killed everyone
Mm-hmm.
within 1 second of taking control of the helicopter.
Mm-hmm.
So Kathy's best idea is to reach around and start smooching him and talking about the spinach date.
To be fair,
The spin-
she had been kidnapped. She was not in the helicopter when he...
Kathy wasn't in the helicopter.
She did not know that he's a
sorry.
fucking
Okay.
idiot.
All right, I recant my statement. However, it was obvious because she was sitting in the helicopter.
Right.
It was mentioned that he was not exactly the best at this.
Washington should have been more forceful by saying, you need to leave him alone. He's bad at this, and we don't need
Yes.
to die
You mean
after
Muhammad.
what... Yes, Muhammad. After what we just went through.
M-O-A.
Yes.
Moon. That spells Muhammad.
We're going to get letters now.
Oh, dear.
We didn't
Muhammad.
draw pictures.
You can say it.
I like that we were
Yeah,
right there as fast as we can get the words out.
Mm-hmm. yeah, but no, they've
I want to explain the spinach date because we just said that casually. That's
We didn't
That's
mention
really-
the
yeah, no,
spinach
we
date.
didn't.
okay.
the
So
setup to the spinach.
So Dr. Kathy, translation woman or language lady,
Dr. Kathy, translation woman, yes.
I love that
Pre-Columbian
JCO show.
pre-Columbian translation
linguistics.
woman. Yeah,
Doctor of pre-Columbian linguistics.
sure. So she's a cunning linguist. She
Goddamn liberal arts degrees.
she was working like all the time. Like every time there's like a pause and whatever's going on, she's going over and like studying the stone and making notes in her notebook.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, Dr. Mike, or not, he's Soldier Mike.
Just Mr. Mike.
Yeah, Mr. Mike.
Captain Mike.
Yeah, Magic Mike comes up and is like, "Oh, you're working again, really? You want to tell me what it's about?" He's like, "You wouldn't understand." He's like, yeah." He goes, "Dumb sailors. We're just all like Popeye. It's just all we do is eat spinach." And then, like, he's just like, yeah, sure, I'm stupid. I wouldn't know anything. All I do is eat spinach." And it's just out of nowhere, she goes, "Ooh, I love spinach." Just like that.
Yeah, she's
Like,
like, I would
every
have a
once in a while,
spinach dinner with you.
I think I'm doing Penelope Cruz because like every once in a while her ADR person would do that, like have a weird accent periodically.
It's weird because she's dubbed, obviously, because
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
Italian, but it's like they dubbed her in almost Italian also.
right,
And it's
that's
like,
what I mean. It's just like, ooh, I love spinach
Yeah.
too.
Which,
And
I
then-
mean, it could have just been her dubbing her own voice because they don't record any audio, but it's
like,
just,
yeah,
it's
like I said,
strange.
it's just strange because she's just like she's not even listening to him. Just like, ooh, I like spinach too. And then when she's just, molesting him in the helicopter, it's like, oh, now we can go on that spinach date.
Oh, but there was also a line about like maybe when this is all over, you can take me for a spinach date.
Spinach dinner.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
It's when she's
spinach
like, oh right, the spinach conversation that I
Yeah.
totally forgot.
dinner.
It's so weird that she just, there's no comment about how she was just sucked into the Atlantis computer or anything. It's just like, I'm here now.
Maybe she was Maybe she was an Atlantean plant still and was trying to crash the helicopter by smooching
I think
on
that's what it was. Yeah.
By smooching on him.
him. Yeah.
That's how they get you.
I think I like to call that whenever somebody who you think is dead has just appeared in a helicopter at the end of the movie. I like to call that a bell end. Thank you.
That's a pretty good one. I like it. But it.
I know it's not a Bell helicopter show.
No, I think the.
Okay, maybe it was.
The Huey was a bell. Wait.
Yes, go to Internet Movie.
Yeah, just
Helicopter
Google Bell
database.
End and see what you get.
Yeah, Google that.
No, I'm gonna Bing it. Just
All right,
Okay,
yeah,
well,
yes,
that's
yeah,
better.
probably
Yes,
should, yeah.
smart. Yeah.
the UH-1 Iroquois is a Bell helicopter, so your joke
Ooh.
stands.
Hot diggity. Well, let's rate it. Go ahead, you guys.
No. You can't do that.
Yeah, you got to go first.
Come on.
For reasons that we will establish later.
Okay, I'm the positive person here. It gets 2 jocks. I think this movie is goofy as shit. It is not good in a good way, but except for the 15 minutes of being buzzed by the helicopter, I was fascinated by the random stupidity that this movie was dishing out the entire time. I just love trying to make sense of it. I think its random nonsense is endearing. We have seen plenty of better Italian action films. I'm staring at Strike Commando right now, and it is obviously 100 times better than this movie. That's the difference between a 2 jocks and a 5 jocks. It's fun. I think this movie is fun, except for the one early scene that can suck out your will to live if you let it. Just don't let it.
Sometimes you have no choice. Like, if something's out to suck the fucking joy out of your life, then it's going to.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I had a lot of fun. I didn't have a whole lot of fun watching this movie, but I had a lot of fun talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really conflicted as to where to put this at this moment.
Okay.
So I'm going to pass it on to Harlow.
Yeah, not me. I mean, I didn't like this. I kind of like talking about it. I had fun talking about it, but
For the first half?
I did not have fun.
There's only one
watching it.
half.
Yeah,
Chuck.
there's only one half now. Remember when there's only one half?
Oh, right.
Yeah, the first and only half.
That's right.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy watching this like at all. I mean, I think the only thing that made me laugh is that the fucking catastrophe that like immediately happens when Mike touches the stick in the helicopter. Just
So good.
I mean, that's just
It's so
that's
good.
literally it. Like, I mean, but I mean, honestly, like this is a fucking atrociously made movie. Like, it's an atrociously edited movie.
No doubt.
It is an atrociously. I don't even want to say plotted because like I said, I was not kidding in the beginning. I seriously am not sure what this movie's about, to be honest with you. I mean, even after having talked about it as long as we have.
It's about the Predator di Atlantide.
Yeah. I mean, see. Three bags.
Okay.
I did not care.
Three
for this.
bags.
I did not care for this. I mean, like honestly, this is a 4-bag movie, but like the instant catastrophe is like
That's a jocks.
that's a jocks moment. Like,
Okay.
I mean, like shit like that will always make me laugh when it's just like, I don't know why. Like, it's sort of like that the scene in Community happened immediately. Just like if you just like, hey, yeah, everything's on fire and swirling things around, trying to get it out. Yeah.
I'm not going to try to change your rating, but I am going to remind myself and you.
Uh-huh.
There's some really good stunt work in this as well.
Sure.
Oh, yes.
I mean, a couple people jumping off of. I mean, I guess the motorcycle dives off the pier were okay and stuff, but I mean, like
There's a bunch of good motorcycle stunts.
the highlights are the people jumping off the helicopter.
The helicopter is real good. The people jumping off the cliffs are really good.
Mhm. Those are long falls.
The fighting is not
No.
good. The gunplay stuff is not very good, but like all the associated stunts and all the motorcycles and shit are awesome.
Yes.
I love all of those.
The vehicle construction shit is crazy.
I do like that they gave Mike one of the hero bikes though, because like a lot of those were like hot glued shit onto a bike, but like the trike he took was like that was properly welded, like that was a real deal.
It's weird
But
that he
had
took
cool,
the
like-
trike,
Yeah,
and then Washington was like, I can't
can't
ride. It's like, well, why don't you take this?
I don't think most people
Right.
that can't ride. It's not the balance; it's shifting gears and working the clutch and stuff. It's
I
not really.
think it's
I don't know.
balanced for a lot of people. Like they don't realize that it's easy to balance on a motorcycle because it basically does
I
it
mean,
for
as
you.
soon as you start going, it wants to stay upright.
But
Pendulum effect.
even though they did give him the cool trike, he looked fucking lame as shit when he was riding it.
Oh, yeah,
he's just
'cause
the most milquetoast.
Yeah,
white man.
I just want to point out, like, it had these like cool welded on like knee guards. I thought
Yeah.
that was like one of the coolest parts. Is
Yeah.
like it had almost like a chariot style, like to keep the mud
Yeah.
and shit off your legs.
I miss when there was like motor pools on movies where they would just like kit bash a bunch of shit together and give me some rad ass motorcycles and cars and shit. You just don't get that anymore.
Yeah, but that was somebody's trike. Like that was clearly a hero bike because it was like that
Yeah.
was for real. That
Yeah.
one wasn't a joke like some of those other ones.
But the other ones all looked cool.
Yeah, they did from
And,
afar.
Yeah. It's not important to look good up close.
Yep.
It's a movie.
Good
It's a
enough
movie.
for theater. That's what we always said.
Yeah. I'm going to give this 2 jocks.
Wow.
And it's mainly because I think you should watch it and talk about it with your friends. And I know I don't normally like to do that, but this one is a really good contrast to Strike Commando. And also there's some really good dumb stuff in here that I think you should probably see. And it's going to be real annoying, like if you have found yourself identifying with me and how I enjoy movies, there's going to be some shit that's going to be hard to get over, like that 15 minutes in the very beginning of the stupid fucking helicopter, and a whole bunch of shit not being explained, and a bunch of smash cuts from one thing to another that you don't get any explanation of. But just relax a little bit and enjoy it, and then talk about it with your friends, and I think you'll have a good time.
Yeah, I think, again, as with several of our recent movies, watching it alone is not going to work for you.
No,
unless,
not for most people.
Unless you were just having a narrative in your head and pretending you have friends as you watch these things. But it's honestly one of those movies where if you're just watching it by yourself, you're not making jokes about it. You're just like, what is this? You're failing.
This is such a weird one, though. Like I like this feels so much like one of those post-apocalyptic movies that they wanted to make, but then just changed the plot up, which made it more confusing.
Yeah, I mean, we're at the end of this hour-long podcast and still have absolutely no idea where the movie takes place, who these people are, what their motivation was.
I mean, I'm all for this Italian genre of like, let's go kit bash some vehicles and super glue some things to some jackets and stuff and go out in the middle of a quarry and make a movie. I mean, I'm for those usually. Like I like those dumb things usually.
But there are degrees of quality within that micro genre.
Sure.
And there are better ones than this.
I saw a camcorder, a GE camcorder at the thrift store today.
You want
to go make a movie? Go find a quarry and make an apocalypse movie?
We could use our phones.
I was going to say, I think I have a better camera right here.
No. You don't want to run out of battery on your phone.
Oh yeah, sure. You want to run out on a camcorder that's battery lasts about 30 minutes.
I mean, we could use the camcorder for like point of view shots and fuck that thing up like in a spectacular crash.
I mean, except there's also GoPros for that these days too. I mean,
who wants to spend $600 on a GoPro?
They're not that much. They're like $50. That's why people fuck them up all the time.
Oh no, GoPros are not $50. GoPros
Some of them are.
Those are not GoPros. Those are cheap action cameras.
Those are Goes.
And those suck. But they're cheap for filmmaking purposes.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's why you can stick it to something and run a car over it.
They're also really tough. GoPros are really tough.
Well, let me say this: if we were going to secure cameras to finally film the BMFcast
the movie,
where would we get funding for that?
I don't know. I don't have that kind of money. My dad doesn't have that kind of money.
Who might?
I don't know. I don't know any rich people.
Take a guess. Shot in the dark.
I don't know. Do you know any rich people?
Peter Sellers.
I know what you're trying to do, Chuck. I know what you're trying to do. I'm just making life difficult for you. If we were ever to actually take some money out for BMFcast the movie, it would come out of our Patreon account. Because our fine patrons help keep the lights on. Patrons. And those, if you want to be a patron, then you can go to patreon.com/BMFcast and throw a couple ducats in the bucket and help us keep the lights on and the servers running and all that. And
throw a few ducats in the bucket so that we can fuck it.
Yeah.
Say fuck it and make a movie.
Exactly. But if you just want to contact us or look at the website or see what we're doing, any of that.
I want to look at the website.
Look at the website.
Say I was a fan of websites and I wanted to look at one.
How would I gaze upon a website?
You done?
No.
Anytime now.
Nope. Never done.
BMFcast.com.
Oh, okay.
That's where all the shit is. Also, email us, bmf@bmfcast.com. That's our electronic mail address. And then our telephone number is 910-5JOCKS-BMF or 910-556-9263. That's the Garfield hotline. That is where you can leave a voicemail, because we won't answer it. We're too busy working on the next episode for you guys.
Yes. You will hear a nice, friendly message from us, not Chris Pratt, not anyone else.
Nope. Not Bill Murray.
Nope. Just us.
Yeah. Leave us a message. Tell us what you're up to.
Can you use Cameo to have someone record your voicemail greeting?
Sure.
Is that a thing
They will
you can-
do
you
fucking
just,
anything.
Yeah, you
on
just
Cameo.
get the video, so you can do whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if we want to get the guy from Airbud to do the Airbud rap that we were going to write.
Yeah, our custom earbud
Yeah,
wrap.
Robert Costanzo, who is charging way too much on Cameo. But it's good that he's there.
Hey, he's got to,
Oh, that
You
guy
gotta
was in
make
Die
rent
Hard
somehow.
too. Sorry.
Uh-huh.
you got to make rent money somehow.
It's just going to be funny if I keep pointing out random weird things used in.
We should put ourselves on Cameo.
Yeah, we should.
This
Why?
is our Cameo.
Yeah,
is
just
it.
email us some dumb thing
Yeah.
you want us
Yeah.
to say on air.
I mean-
we'll send it to you.
All
We
we
should
do
be
is
the-
dance for people.
We should be the first people to be like, we'll give you $1 if you let us record you a Cameo.
Yeah. Just please let me record your voicemail. Please.
Oh yeah, I'll record your voicemails. I'll do that.
We've done that before. That was
we
a
have,
that was a
yeah.
Patreon thing early on.
Yes.
Yeah. Nobody cared about it.
No,
I think like 5 people took us up on that
I don't think
offer,
anyone
right?
uses voicemail anymore. I think
Yeah.
every aspect of phone, anything, people are just like, no. I haven't had a custom voicemail message on my phone in 12 years.
Oh, I've had the same one since I got this phone number, which was in 2005.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, mine is just
It's you've reached my telephone number.
Okay. Yes, that is what I have.
I cannot be reached at this moment. Leave me a message, and nobody ever leaves me a message
Nope.
unless it's bill collectors.
Or extended warranty people.
Yes, they leave that like 3.5 minute long message.
Yep.
My favorite is like, you would think at this point in time, all of the robocaller things would know, okay, I've rang 4 to 6 rings, voicemail's picked up, don't start the message
Oh, no.
until
Until the audio input
yeah,
drops, and then
right.
you can.
And then you can, because I mean, I've had so many, it's like, and then if you press 2, you can be connected to one of our people. Click. And it's just like, I don't even know who that was. Like, that's great.
you better call back and leave a better message.
Yeah.
Or they're going to lock your social security number.
I just don't I don't answer the phone anymore, and like
It's a good plan.
almost exclusively don't answer the phone,
Oh, no.
except for if somebody I know is calling.
Yeah. Or if it's a weird time of the day. Where
The only
it's-
person that I know that calls me anymore is like my dad once in a while and Tommy.
Yeah. Old people.
Yes. Tommy called. Okay, so Tommy called me from a number that I had never heard of before. It was like he's living out of our immediate area, and he called me from like his work phone number, which is an area code from where he is, and I have no idea what that phone number is. He's like, "Why didn't you call me back?"
I
And I was
don't
like,
know you.
"Did you call?" He's like, "Yeah, I called yesterday." I was like, "Did you call from a different phone?" He's like, "Yeah, it was from my work number." I was like, "Okay, and you didn't leave a message?" He's like, "No." It's like, "Okay, so you get what you deserve,
Yeah. Just let that be a lesson to
Tommy."
you.
Yeah.
Fucking
So
suck it.
if you're calling people, like, all right, so this other thing happened like a week ago.
If you're calling people first, don't.
No,
And
stop that.
Yeah, not a thing that happened to me, but this hiker was
Yeah.
lost, right? And they said that they tried to call him like dozens of times, but he never picked up. Those motherfuckers, I know for almost 100% certainty, didn't leave a message. Because if the guy would have looked at his phone and gotten the like translation thing that says, "Oh, translate your voicemails," because everybody has that on their phones now, he would have seen them like, "Oh, this is the rescue. We think you're lost. Please answer the fucking phone so we can find where you are." They didn't leave a message.
was this somebody you know or just a
No,
news
just random
story?
hiker
Okay,
dude.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a famous thing of he was lost.
Yeah.
Didn't answer his phone because I don't recognize that.
Yeah.
That's why you
I don't know,
always leave a note.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's get out of here, shall we?
Okay.
Was that all going in? I don't know. That whole weird
Chuck will
rant?
probably cut all that out.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
All right. I'm Harlow.
I'm BJ,
I'm Chuck.
and this is BMFcast out. Bye. Don't be a menace to Atlanta while drinking your juice in Miami.
Do it. Words. You got
Yeah.
it. All right, take us offline so we can
This
do
is
the words.
no. I'm just going to do this straight out.
Oh.
This is just for the six watching.
Get ready, crowd.
This week on the BMFcast, don't be a menace to Atlanta while drinking your juice in Miami. 1 star, we're in. Is that good enough for you, Chuck?
Yeah, I liked it.
Good.
Made much more sense than talking about spinach.
Yeah, it's true.
It is true. It's very true.
Good night, John Boy. Good night, Robert.
Need to leave that subject alone.
Yeah. Good night, Biddy Mackey.
Oh, Josh Mackey was here in the chat.
Good night, Bill Billings. Good night, Leola. Good night, Shannon.
Is this like a
Good night,
room?
Brian. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see Brian.
Yeah, I was gonna say like. Man.
Good night, Skin Slip.
Welcome, Gen Z. Romper Room was a television show that was once on many years ago.
What?
Yeah. See, there was a lady, and at the end, she had this magnifying glass, and she'd say she could see you, but she just said random first names, and she couldn't see you at all. That's not how television works. At least not back then. Now we have webcams and stuff. You can't see each other on the television. What was that lady's name? What was the Romper Room lady's name?
It was different ladies.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wasn't always the same lady. And I believe
That
they
wasn't
were...
where Lamb Chop came from, was it? Shirley,
No.
what's her face?
No,
Sherry-
Sherry Lewis.
Sherry Lewis and Lamb Chops was that was her own show, right?
That was something
I
else.
have the internet. I will bing it.
I think I think she. I
will
think her
bing
show was just
Romper
like
Room.
Lamb Chop and Friends or something.
No.
Like that.
I think Romper Room had some regional offshoots. I think they had like certain areas only had, their version of Romper Room.
Nancy Claster.
See, I thought Romper Room was in.
That's Sherry Lewis's name?
What?
Well,
Why
what,
would-
what are you looking up? Nancy Claster. That was the host of Romper
You
Room?
want to read
think
my
so.
Sherry Lewis Fred Rogers /fic?
Nope.
Gross.
You know it exists though. That's the sad
I
thing.
think it was several, though. That was the one that came up first. IMDb. There was Sally and Molly and Nancy and Rosemary and I think that's it.
What about the Confarty girl?
I always forget her name.
I know.
We got that pinned to somewhere, don't we?
Oh, yes.
I'm pretty sure you could just.
I think we have that
Google,
pinned to.
Google Confarty and you'll find her. I'm pretty sure I did that once.
Google Confarty.
I used to at least remember the name of the show, but now I don't even remember that. It was Sunny Side Up. That was it.
Was it Sunny Side
That
Up?
was the name of the show. Yep. It was like eggs. Eggs had something to do with eggs.
Eggs. It has something to do with eggs. Eggs.
And it wasn't poached. So that's a different thing with animal puppets.
Hosts. Carly Chiarachi, I think.
Uh-huh. Good. Good night, Internet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Good night, Internet.